Girls here. Thanks for coming on today's episode. This week, like every week, I'll be talking about natural living and healthy tips that will get you to rethink how you live and what products or habits you can easily change to better your life. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome to today's Urban Wisdom. Well, since it's freezing where I live, this post seemed pretty appropriate. So our topic is hamburger soup recipe for all levels of cooks. Well, my first introduction to hamburger soup was while having a game night with some friends. My good friend got the recipe from her sister, who is the wife of a farmer and makes it each year when they have their bull sale. Hearty and filling, she makes a substantial amount that satisfies the hungry crowd. As I had never tried it before, I was excited to see how it tasted. Besides a person who loves a new recipe, I'm always looking for something the kids will enjoy and isn't our normal. In short, the hamburger soup tasted phenomenal. The kids had 2 bowls apiece and raved about the flavor, a compliment to the cook. Well, that was it. The very next week, they requested I make it again, and the rest is history. So here it is, you guys, the popular hamburger soup by Jen. Cook time is about 1.5 to 3 hours. Items needed is a large stock pot, a medium pot, chopping board, cutting knife, and whisk. Ingredients: 6 to 9 cups of chicken broth, 8 cups of diced potatoes with or without the skin. Now you guys, white potatoes sometimes take a little longer to cook. So that's where you have the varying times of 1.5 to 3 hours. So if you want the meal to be prepared sooner, use red potatoes. Okay, moving on with the recipes. The ingredients: 1.5 cups chopped carrots, 1.5 cups chopped onions, 1.5 cups chopped celery, 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 tablespoon minced garlic, 2 teaspoons basil, 2 teaspoons parsley. Now, the ingredients for making the roux are 6 tablespoons butter, half cup of flour. And additional toppings is something like shredded cheese or Fritos if you want a little crunch. Now, let's get right down to the directions. Starting off, in a large stock pot, bring 6 cups chicken broth to a boil. Now add diced potatoes with or without your skins, remember. Next, brown the ground beef with desired seasonings in it. Then you're going to add that to the stock pot and in your potatoes and your chicken broth. Now, with reserved drippings from the burger, saute your onions, carrots, celery, and garlic for 3 to 5 minutes. Next, add to the stock pot and cook until the veggies have reached the desired consistency. At this point, add your basil and parsley. Now, make your roux by melting the butter and then stirring in your half cup of flour until you have a paste. You're going to take that paste now and stir it into the soup until it's well mixed. And you can do that with a wooden spoon or with a whisk. Now, if needed, add additional cups of chicken broth. I determine this before adding the roux. So if it looks like your potatoes and your veggies are taking up most of the pot, there isn't a lot of juice left, I would add the chicken broth, make sure that's heated through, and then add your roux. And that's it. You're going to serve. As I said, you can top each dish with cheese or other desired toppings. Now, you guys, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go clean up my kitchen because every time I prepare a post, I always make it fresh and then take the picture. So it's quite a mess in there. But anyways, we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Urban Wisdom and Natural Living. Tune in next week where I'll broadcast live every Monday morning at 8 a.m. If you miss it live, hold those tears and head on over to my blog, which is heatherearls.com. That's Heather, EARLES.com. There you can have 24/7 access or right here on iTunes. If you want to follow me on social media, you'll find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Have a healthy week.